Here we go. Good morning, everyone. So great to see you. You can see that we have an amazing, amazing morning planned for you. We're not streaming live on Facebook, so message your friends and tell them to hop on Zoom this morning because we have a jam-packed, amazing, amazing morning plan for you. So this morning, we are going to be talking about we awaken potential and we transform masterfully. The fifth habit of transformational leadership. This is going to be our focus today, and you are not going to want to miss it. And we have an amazing lineup for you. I had to get a new pad of paper because mine was totally full from all the notes that I've been taking all week. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is the second to the last day. How many of you are feeling sad we only have one more morning? Put a 2 in the chat if you are like, want to keep going, because this is just so amazing. So as we continue, let's talk a little bit about this habit. We awaken potential, we transform masterfully. As we continue to incorporate and understand our habits of transformational leadership, we have the amazing opportunity that we get to awaken people. We get to awaken people that they too can transform their lives. What a gift this is. I mean, to me, this is the most amazing thing about what we do. And habit 5, as you're going to hear today, is adding to that foundation. And I have found over my 11 years of coaching, one of the ways that I can awaken potential in me and in others and often get me past the fear is looking at what if. And I just want to share just a few examples this morning before I get out of the way and you get to hear this amazing cast. So think about this, really think about this for you. What if whatever is in your way, you can move it out of your way? So what if all this time, all this struggle has been leading you to a beautiful chapter in your life? And I can promise you it is. What if everything does work out, even if it doesn't seem like it right now? I can tell you it does. What if I'm the one? What if I am the one to awaken potential in others? What if who I become is who I needed to be all along? What if all this hard work leads to an amazing life, more than I could have ever dreamed up? What if I replace negativity with optimism? Would your thoughts and behaviors change? What do you think? I think so. But it starts with us. It starts with that burning desire to transform and that burning desire to make a difference and that burning desire to awaken potential that maybe I never thought possible in me and in others. So please ask yourself, what would I do if failure wasn't an option? I am so excited to introduce our next speaker, Mary Basinger. She has got the most amazing inspirational story. I have loved listening to her in the past, and she's going to share with you and incorporate our habit number 5. Mary, take it away.
Awesome. I just want to start off by saying that I absolutely loved listening to Erica's story of success yesterday, as she kind of shared a little bit of her story. Just being such a super successful businesswoman in the first place, I am so thrilled for her. But my story is a little bit different. And let me set my timer here so I make sure that we are on time. There we go. So I grew up in the small town in West Virginia. I went to a very small private school for counseling, a counseling degree. I finished my counseling degree. I started just volunteering my counseling experience, started popping out babies like crazy. Me and my husband, we have 4 children. We had 4 children in a matter of, I believe, 6.5 years, 7 years. So that time period for me is just kind of a blurry time period. I kind of went into a shell in my home. I went through some stressful things in life. My health spiraled out of control. And because of my health spiraling out of control, my husband's health spiraled out of control as well. So that's when we decided to change our life. We needed something to change. And my husband and I decided we're going to do this thing. We're going to do this program. We're very skeptical, but we were just out of desperation. So at that time, I was homeschooling all 4 of the kids at home, of course, at home. Some of you guys are doing that right now, and you've never experienced that. It's a lot of work. We were living off a small church's assistant pastor salary. I didn't have a job. So we literally sold our riding lawnmower so we could do the program together. I was, to be honest, when I began coaching, I just wanted to get paid for my parents and best friends who did the program, so it would help us pay for our program so we could finish out our health journey. And my ministry mindset, my husband being a pastor, it had always been to help people, but I wrestled with the idea of shooting to make a bunch of money with health coaching. I had a scarcity mindset, which is kind of ironic because, and just thinking that way, because what we do in health coaching, we help people and you just get paid well to do it. For some reason, I just had to get through that mindset. And that was just an excuse. But of course, our excuses, our goals don't care about our excuses. And my goal was to help people. And if I made a little bit of money in the process, that's awesome. So started out with 5 clients, maybe for 5 or 6 months. All I had was 5 clients. I saw all these messages coming through Messenger during trainings, and I remember getting a little bit annoyed because I wasn't up to date with the trainings and I didn't know what was going on, and all these people were putting all these messages in there. And I remember wanting to jump out of the group, but at the same time, I didn't want to hurt Nick and Kirsten's feelings. They're my mentor coaches. So when I finally decided I'm going to tap into one of these training series, my potential started to be awakened. I started to dream. I started to see what my dreaming could mean for other people. My dreaming meant other lives could be reached and changed. And I did not do every single action step on that training. I just remembered being very motivated to just get out of my own head and to help more people. Like I was holding back this amazing gift from people because of that mindset that I had been carrying. And I didn't have a ton of time each day. I was homeschooling 4 kids. I knew I needed to help more people, and I knew I had the avenue to do it. So I started setting 30-minute time periods. I would just go through my A to Z list on Facebook, on my friends, and just blocking out 30 minutes a day just to reach out to people and to create those connections. And I did everything from home in a very short time and just started being consistent in doing that. And that month, I believe I hit associate director. The next month I hit executive director. And you know what the awesome thing is? The qualifications for being a coach is you have to want to help people or desire to help people, and you have to be coachable. And I had the first one down. I had the desire to help people, but I wasn't being coachable. I wasn't leaning into my mentorship team. So I started leaning in and developing a relationship with my mentors, getting involved in the coach community per se, watching them, started dreaming with them. They met with me and asked me what my goals were. And once my eyes were opened, I wanted other people's eyes to be opened as well. I wanted them to see that they had the potential to reach out and to serve other people. And you know what? 94% of people believe that a company's success is greatly influenced by their culture. 94%. In Optavia, we live in a culture where we get to dream and awaken motivation for others around us. And I have so much more that I wanted to say today, but I know that these amazing trainers are going to do a great job sharing with you how to awaken potential in other people. And it starts with people on Facebook, then it works into your clients, and it works into your coaches. It all works together to create potential all around you. So back to you, Karen.
So good, Mary. I loved it. Drop in the chat a couple takeaways from Mary. One of the first things you said Your potential was awakened when you plugged into your first training. Something as simple as that. Isn't it amazing? Those of you that have been here for the first on this training for your first training, second, third, 50th, it doesn't matter. Something is going to be awakened in you. I love that. And so good. Be coachable. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. What if we were coachable? What if we leaned into our mentorship? What if we followed the leader? What would happen? Just something that simple. So, so good. Thank you so much. So now we're going to continue on. One of my favorite speakers, I love to listen to, Emily, and she is going to be talking about They're Buying You. And she always brings so much value. So I'm excited to hear you, girl. Take it away.
Thank you, Karen, for the introduction. Good morning, everybody. I want to talk to you guys today about our stories and the way we share that story with the world, but also how important it is that our story kind of be ever evolving and growing just as we should be. I think it's a pretty, common sentiment that a lot of us were worried that we would be selling a product when we became a coach, right? But I want you guys to be brave right now. I'm going to look at the chat. I would like you to please put a 5 in the chat if you still feel like that today. You still kind of feel, ooh, I feel like I'm out there selling a product. No judgment, promise. But if this is a block for you, we kind of need to proclaim it so that we can move past it. Good. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being real. I think we want to pretend a lot of times that we don't feel that way anymore. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for your honesty. So if you guys take away anything from what I'm going to share with you in the next few minutes, please remember this. You sell the problem you solve, not the product you offer. And what I mean by that is we are not slanging meal replacements. Are meal replacements part of the solution for most of our clients? Absolutely, but if we're not first awakening the potential in our clients to see what is possible past the food, we're not really helping anyone transform at all. And the focus, again, needs to be on selling the problem we solve, not the product we offer. Because, what you're selling isn't a product, it's a solution. So put super simply, people buy products usually based on like how it makes them feel, what they can accomplish with them, or if it solves a real actual problem in their lives. And this is obviously exactly what we do, right? We help to awaken them and show them how to transform this problem with our amazing solution. But, we can't sell an iPhone by saying it has like a 12 megapixel camera. We sell it by showing the amazing photos it takes, if that makes sense. So I want you to consider this, especially when posting on social media, which Michelle Bamba is going to go over soon. And so she'll get into that more, but our posts really need to tell a story and send a message. And I'm not talking about a product or even like before and afters. Your audience, the people who read your posts, they care about being moved. They care about being, entertained. They care about being enlightened. And our story should be ever evolving, guys. So it's always, super fun as a brand new coach to kind of write your story out for the first time and have your Facebook launch and see all kinds of excitement and activity come from it. But what I've seen over the years coaching, being a mentor coach, I see a lot of people fizzle out after that because they seem a little unsure kind of what to say past the initial coming out. And I want you guys to know, please hear me, you are more than your weight loss story. Those of you who've been coaching for a while and maybe you're struggling in your own journey, I'm speaking to you right now. I know you feel like you can't talk about your health or your struggles because you're carrying shame for backsliding. But I want to tell you, you are more than your weight loss story. You already have everything you need inside of you right this very second to inspire, to awaken, to transform people. The only thing in your way is believing that that's true. But you're exactly who you need to be for this task. You're not behind. You're just getting started. Everything you need is already inside of you right this second. And really, the universe or God or spirit or whatever you call your higher power is just kind of waiting for you to see what you've had all along. And so, you know, all that compassion you have for your clients, I want you to turn that compassion inwards. I want you to understand that being successful in this business means getting really good at connecting with people. And I'm not talking about transactionally connecting on a coffee date. I mean like a soul connection. You know, when you guys envision souls connecting, what do you see? I know for me, I don't see body size. I don't see weight lost. I don't see weight gained. I just see two souls, two hearts kind of melting into one in that moment. And I think if we can kind of raise our level of consciousness just a bit and stop limiting ourselves because of the number on the scale going a direction we don't want to see, we would all be a lot better off. You know, your size doesn't dictate how many people you can help. And no one's going to ever change my mind on that. You know, being honest about needing to reconnect with our goals and maybe the fact that we're not perfect, it'll be way more attractive to your audience than you sitting kind of silently in shame. So I just want to encourage you to start by rewriting whatever your story is today. You know, we are evolving constantly, and you want to make sure your audience knows the story of who you are today. You know, do you reference your initial experience from time to time? Sure, we all do that, but I want you to fall in love with whatever your story is right now, today. Good, bad, ugly, doesn't matter. Stop trying to project this perfect image. It's not relatable. There's no vulnerability in there. And you're also not going to feel really good sharing something that feels, you know, kind of out of alignment. So I encourage you to approach each and every health assessment with the idea of helping someone solve a problem or achieve a goal. And if you aren't creating kind of a space where people feel like they can trust you enough with their pain, with their vulnerabilities, it's going to be really, really hard to help them transform. So I think we need to start by realizing we had everything we need right here within us all along, and kind of go change the world with our story 1% at a time. Back to you, Karen.
Thank you, Emily. Wow. So put a couple takeaways in the chat. I know the chat was blowing up while you were talking, and I got so much out of that. Don't limit yourself by a number on the scale. How many of us do that? You know, we go up a little bit, myself included, and suddenly we have this feeling like we can't share that or talk to anyone because that's stopping us. You have everything inside you. Like Emily said, you have everything inside you you need. Be vulnerable. We're not perfect. You attract more people that way because no one wants a perfect coach, right? Thank you, Emily. That was so, so good. Whew. So we're going to move on to, oh my gosh, awakening potential. You know, we have so many great leaders to share with us and pour into us on awakening potential and really inspiring people. And our next speaker is so amazing at that. And I'm excited to turn this over to Annika as she shares with us how to awaken potential.
Oh, thank you, my friend. This is such an amazing topic, you guys. You know, really, in the 3.5 years that I've been coaching and a part of this amazing community and vehicle, I don't ever think I've learned a skill set more valuable than helping to awaken potential in others. You know, Emily, Mary, and Karen have really set the tone this morning when it comes to one of the most powerful tools that we have in our hands as coaches, you know, to inspire people and awaken potential in others is a skill set that can be learned, but it all starts with us. But what does that actually mean? So this is really the true ambiance of leadership. It's the process of believing in someone else, that they have the ability to become and do more. And you guys, and in the process, stretch them outside of their current reality so they can become more and do more in a nurturing and caring space. Isn't that what we do? So the first part of this training was all about how to do this within ourselves, right? In the first 3 habits of transformational leadership. Yesterday, your leaders spoke about connecting authentically, cultivating trust. And that's really, truly the first step in helping inspire people. They really have to trust you and know that everything that you're doing is for them and nothing about you. This is truly where transformational end of our business takes hold, you guys. To inspire people to want things for themselves and awaken potential in others is all about cultivating trust. It's all about listening to others and their stories and making people feel like they're not alone. And as you're sharing your stories of overcoming hard times, being vulnerable, authentic, and not leaving people in the hole that they put themselves in, you give them hope for what's possible. You've now created this incredible bond with people. They're feeling like they're no longer enough or they're not alone. And through that seed, really, a gift is really planted. But if we don't know how to do this in ourselves and to learn how to have faith and hope and self-love and gratitude and perseverance, what makes us think that we can ever show anybody else what's possible for them? And just as Emily was saying, it's going to take courage. It's going to take resolve, tenacity, heart, and ambition in our own lives. And sharing that through immense vulnerability in our stories that will create hope for others. It's not the name of the company. It's not the fuelings. It's none of that. And when you can really sit down and listen to other people's stories and hold space for them, listen to understand, seek to understand, all things are possible. It's really our stories that unite and bring us together and benefit and inspire people. Not a feeling, you guys. But it's really not enough just to inspire people and paint the picture for them, to repeat back and visualize it and be in that moment with them. That is amazing. And that's the transformational end of our business for sure, right? But to really create change and awaken potential in others, to want that kind of life for themselves, it takes them borrowing your faith in them first and showing them how to create this change. That's where the transactional end of this business really takes place. It's not enough just to hope and dream. Action really begets all. And it's through action that transformation really happens. See, our mission as hope dealers is not to leave people without tools, resources, or a path to show them the way. As leaders, it's our responsibility and objective to help show the path and the way. And honestly, guys, it's going to require passing on skills, mentalities, and actions you and really your leaders before you have done to really make the transformation an actuality. It's not going to be enough just to tell somebody. That's what managers do. Leaders go with them. However, what's really cool is that we've already got the tools and the systems that make it simple. It's just our position to teach it and hold their hand, you guys. So I always ask myself these questions when I'm thinking about people. What do they do really, really well? Like, what's missing? And what do they need? Like, what's next? So you're really going to want to handhold and inspect and guide them, right? Whether they're your client or their coach. Ask for examples. Okay. What do you think? What would they like to see happen? What do you think would be helpful to convey that message? You guys, this process is the stretching. It's uncomfortable. It's super unnerving for most people because this is where shifts occur. It's in these obstacles and getting them out of their current state of reality, of their comfort zone. And you guys, it's not up to us to decide when that shift is for people. The shift is up to the individual. And even then, the transformational and transactional sides always have room to grow because we can always be better and increase our potential as human beings. So first, we always want to start with the transformational end. It all starts with knowing what they want, why they want it so bad, what would it mean for them to achieve it, and how willing they are to do what's required to get there. It's asking really great questions to paint the picture of what the future will hold. Now, we can always figure out a way, right? But only if it's worth it to the individual. So first, we really want to seek to understand what people want before we ever show them how. Now, once we have that why, we can help ease concepts, limiting belief systems, and obstacles really that may prevent them from moving forward. And relate quickly to them with your story, but don't make it about you. Quickly show them now the path of action, because from there, we can really create and craft a strategy for transactional movement, right? Because it's not enough just to dream. You want to get people into action. And then honestly, guys, it's out of our hands and up to the individual to create it. It's always the transformational first, ever before the transactional course. Look, you guys, people crave success. It's the human condition to succeed, to thrive, to evolve, to become more. But we're fighting outdated biology that keeps us in our comfort and complacency. Are you guys inspired what you've done and what you've created and what you're growing into and achieving? If not, it's going to be very, very, very difficult to show somebody else how to awaken their own potential. Inspiring people to do differently, we got to do differently. To do differently, we're going to have to start thinking differently. And when you think different, we achieve different. And we can't become and do different with the same thoughts, actions, beliefs, environments, and people around us, guys. You're going to want to surround yourself with bigger thinkers, bigger books, larger concepts, ideas of grandeur. So authors like John Maxwell, Ryan Holiday, Eckhart Tolle, Les Brown, Zig Ziglar, Rumi, you guys are going to want to study and be a student. But it's not just enough to be a student. You're going to want to implement these teachings. And as you start to become more, you're going to be able to show others how to become more, because all of this takes time and finding more people and working with more people. There are many avenues that we can utilize as coaches to help inspire and awaken potential. And really, our next leaders are truly going to bless you guys with simple yet astounding tools and skills to help you create the outcome that our coaches and our clients are really seeking. Karen, back to you.
Wow. Post in the chat some takeaways. There were so many. I really loved just something so simple, but so difficult. The process of believing in someone else. That so stuck with me. Stretch them outside their comfort zone. And surround yourself with bigger thinkers. How are we going to grow if we stay small? And study and implement. Often we'll read books or we'll listen to podcasts almost for entertainment, not to study and really be a student of whatever it is we are learning and reading about. So continuing our habit of we awaken potential and we transform masterfully. we're going to move to Michelle Bamba, who's going to share with us how we can implement these habits into social media. Michelle.
Thank you, Karen. Good morning, you guys. I'm so excited to be on. Everyone has done such an incredible job so far. So it's definitely hard to follow, but I'm here to talk about social media. Let's talk about that. I'm sure many of you watching that are on our team know how much I talk social media and how passionate I am about this topic. And that's because it really is such an incredible tool that we use to obviously connect with people, right? And to really grow our businesses. And if you're ever in a place that you feel that it's not working for you, I want to encourage you that it's not social media that stops working. Social media will never stop working. It's you that stops working it to its fullest potential. So I'm not here to teach you all things social media because I can go on forever when it comes to that. But I'm here to really talk to you about how we can use social media to really awaken the potential of what could happen in someone's life by sharing not only our story, right, our health story, but by really branding ourselves and in all that we do and all that we offer. Like Emily mentioned earlier was, how our stories evolve and really sharing all sides of that, right? Rather than just, one thing that Optavia offers. Now, far too often, one thing that I really see when I look at coaches' pages is that they have an amazing page, right? It really inspires hope into what's possible. But the only thing that I see is just that, sharing what's possible in one's health physically. So many of you on here have such a beautiful page that really shows the passion that you have in helping others with their weight, with their health. But where so many of us tend to lack is sharing what's possible with Optavia as a whole. Not just physically, but in our healthy minds and in our healthy finances as well. So let's look into some things that we can do to really start to awaken the potential of what is possible with Optavia, not just in our health, not in someone else's health, but something that's really important with a lot of people nowadays, right? And so many people are struggling more than with their bodies, but with their healthy finances. And so I want you guys to remember this, okay? The transaction piece of coaching is really becoming that CEO, thinking like a CEO, being strategic with our business, and now we can really use social media as that platform to strategically grow our businesses, where we are providing that transformational side. We're sharing what is possible, but also on the transactional side. So first thing that I want to start with is I want each of you to think about what you post every single day. Are you doing the 3x3x3, right? That's something that we want to have a staple in our structure, a staple in our calendar, a rock in our calendar every single day, and be consistent with that. If so, when you go to your page, what is it that you see? I want you to each take a second and really visualize your page and what it looks like. If you were to go to your page as a stranger, would you be inspired? Would you be able to tell that you help people? Would you inspire yourself to reach out and know, man, that person can help me? If so, awesome, right? We're doing a good job, right? But if not, then maybe we have some work to do. Now, let's kind of put health aside. Are you still inspired by your life while you're looking at your page? Are you seeing the stories that are evolving in your page? Do you think to yourself, man, whatever that person has going on is so inspiring. I want a piece of that. Are you sharing what coaching has allowed you to do? If not, we have some work to do in there as well. And so many of you are probably new. Some of you maybe have not experienced yet, the utter freedom that Optavia allows you to have, but that's okay. It's coming. As long as you are consistent, it's going to come and it's going to happen. But are you really sharing, what coaching has allowed you to have? Even if you have one client, you guys, accountability, right? Accountability is such a beautiful piece of what coaching brings. So many of us probably start coaching. I mean, how many of us started coaching? Maybe throw in the chat if you started coaching for the accountability. And then you were awakened to what was really possible alongside accountability. And that's such a beautiful piece that we have, because there is no little victory to share what coaching allows, even if we're only helping one person. even if we're not helping anyone yet, right? There are no small victories. People are looking for that. Your clients may be looking for that. And now you're awakening them to see that coaching brings accountability. Sometimes we post on our page for the people that we're looking for, right? For the potential clients that we're looking for just people, right? But I want you guys to think about this. Your clients are still those people that are looking for that hope. If we're not consistent in that 3x3x3, we're not consistently, sharing even before and after pictures. That's not, not only are you can't awaken people, right, to see what's possible with health, but now, your clients are looking at that too, the accountability that brings in their own journey. So many of you, or some of you, have really experienced so much of what Optavia has allowed you to do. Has it allowed you to pay for your kids' tuition for school, savings, car payments, pay off debt, travel, leave jobs. We are in, honestly, this group of people, we are all over, right? As far as what is allowed us to do. The list goes on and on. So what has Optavia allowed you to do outside of health? Let's throw that in the chat. Name 1 or 2 things that Optavia has allowed you to do. Has it allowed you to be more free? Has it allowed you to leave a job? Has it allowed you to, pay for your debt, pay off debt? Let's, see honestly that chat blow up of what Optavia has allowed you to do. Travel, we're seeing grow our confidence, stay home with our kids. Look at all this, you guys. This is the beauty of what this offers. This gift offers so much more than health. And that's what we want to share with people. We don't want, and don't get me wrong. Obviously, we want to share health. We're always forever going to be sharing health. I don't care how big your front line is, right? We're always going to share with people what's possible because we want to be consistent in that. People are constantly going to be watching us. They are still watching this and they have not reached out, but they need this. They want this. And they're waiting to see that if it's real. They're waiting to see that this is not the next thing, right? With our health and with our finances. If we're sharing the passion and the beauty of what coaching has done with us, and we are consistent in that too, people are watching us to do the same. Because if people continue to watch and all of a sudden we just stop sharing, what happens? They think, oh, that person, I knew it was going to fail. But people are depending on you to be consistent because they do not want to fail in the next thing, right? They want to see that this is real. I've had people reach out to me a year later. Hey, you know what? I've been watching you for a year. I see what this business has allowed you to do, not only in your health, but now you're traveling, you're living freedom, you're home with your kids, you're living the life that I want. And I want that. And it's all about being consistent to show people that it's real. So I want you guys to really think about, what is it that you're sharing? Are you just sharing health? Are you just sharing what it's done for you physically? Why aren't we sharing more? And the reason that I share this with you guys today, and I'm so passionate about sharing this, is because we all know, all of us know in here, right, that Optavia is not a weight loss program. That is just a sliver of what Optavia offers. But why is it all that we share? Why is our pages full of health, right? Why is it all that we share? Why do we only share before and afters? Why do we only share health tips, recipes? It really is a tiny piece of what Optavia offers. It is a tiny gift box of what Optavia offers and all of the gift boxes that it allows us to do, right? So why not start sharing more? Why not really start to inspire the heck out of people and truly awaken them to transform their life, not just in their health, right? How many people out there, they may not need the healthy body, right? They may not need that, but maybe they're struggling financially. I thank God every day that Justin reached out to us. He didn't even know we wanted to get healthy. He looked at us as, hey, you know what? I see the life that they live. I know their opposite work schedules. From the outside in, it looked great. But he offered the piece that we actually needed the most. And so there's so many people out there that truly need the gift of coaching, and they need the gift of freedom, and not just freedom in their health, but freedom in all areas of our life, right? In the financial side, in the time freedom. That's what people need. And that is what you guys, this is the transformational side of this, right? It's awakening them. But it's time to also think transactionally. Think like a CEO. Strategically plan out your business. Start branding yourself. Really set yourself up for incredible growth. Let's stop thinking small. Stop caring what people think of you. Stop caring what people will say, right? Sometimes we get so stuck and we have that chatter that we're like, gosh, I don't want to sound like I'm bragging. It's not bragging, you guys. You're just sharing with people what is possible. Stop thinking what people will say, because guess what? They're going to say it regardless, right? People are going to think the way that we're going to think. So if we're going to make up stories, why not make up a really dang good story? So I want you guys, and I really want to encourage you guys this, is start really thinking big. Start thinking outside of the box. You know, there are so many incredible coaches that you can follow for inspiration on how they're sharing, you know, such their incredible life. And why do they have big businesses? Because of that. They're not sharing just health. They're sharing their life. They're sharing exactly what Optavia has allowed them to do in their life. There is no such thing as any small victory. You know, paying off a car payment, 200 bucks, 300 bucks. That's a huge deal. People would love that. Being able to go pay for a babysitter to go out on a date night. People crave for that. You know, there's no such thing as a small victory. Start just living your life out loud, not just your health journey, but your overall journey, because it's not bragging, you guys. It really is branding yourself. It's awakening potential. It's sharing what has changed your life. And it's really time to start sharing the gift of what this could really offer to people. Karen, back to you.
So good, Michelle. The chat just blowing up. We're going to move on because we have so much more still remaining. But I'm just going to say this about Michelle. What an amazing transformational leader, that she awakens potential in people. I mean, did you get so much gold from here? I was taking notes like crazy. I can hardly wait to implement this. And as you are reaching out to people and you're thinking about people whose lives you can change, how are we going to approach those people? How are we going to talk to them? And Erica O is going to talk to us. She's so good at this with I plus Q equals A. And I love listening to her. So take it away, Erica.
Thank you so much, Karen. Good morning, guys. First of all, I have to give a shout out, and I want to just, if everybody will throw some love in the chat for my coach, Chari Powell. It's her birthday, and I want to tell you, Chari, I love you, and thank you for the gift of Optavia, because you shared. My entire life has changed this year, and I love you, girl. So, and then second, I want to follow what Michelle just said, and then we'll get into I plus Q equals A, because just that she was saying that, it's crazy. As we're sitting here on this call, my Facebook Messenger pops up, and how Michelle was saying, you never know what people want, the program or the business side or both. I get a message that's my cousin out of the blue that's like, hey, can we talk today? I'm really interested in the business side of what you do. I'm looking for something on the side. And we'll go into more of that, but living out loud and having that presence, like Michelle said, on social media, out of the blue, you're going to start, those people will pop up. This really does happen. So, okay, my favorite thing to talk about is sponsorship, because that is in my opinion, the best gift you can give somebody. The gift of the program, yes, but when you sponsor, you allow somebody, that your clients stay integrated in the program, and they keep their weight off, and they become successful in so many areas of their lives. So the formula we want to talk about today, when it comes to sponsorship, is called I plus Q equals A. So the I stands for identify. And that's the first question I asked myself when I started this, not even knowing I plus Q equals A yet. But I thought, who is my dream team? So I'm going to ask you guys that. Who is your dream team? If you could work with anybody, the people you love most in life. You know, most of us before now or at some point, we went to an office, and you may like some people and you don't like some people. You know, most of us don't like every single person we work with. The beauty of this is you really can create your ideal office environment. So who, if you could work with anyone, and who popped into your mind right then when I asked that about your dream team? So I want you to write these people down. And then which of your, like, and some other questions you can ask to start finding these people, which of your clients absolutely love the program and are having amazing results? Who's super active and integrated in your client support page? Who do you know that's unhappy in their current job, or lacks money or time freedom, or both? And like Michelle hit on, that is such a missed opportunity, because I'm so glad that Chari came to me. I had a 6-figure career, but I was miserable. You never know. Somebody might look super happy in their career, but time freedom is huge. My whole life is so much better in a million ways this year, having both financial and time freedom. My relationship with my husband, my kids, what you gain from time freedom is absolutely invaluable. So to offer that gift to somebody, so many people need it, and they're not telling you this. Who has a career, took a pay cut due to COVID this year? That opens a whole other room of people. So the first two people, when I asked that question to myself, that popped into my head about my dream team was Tiffany Tillman, y'all know the Tillmans, and Verinia. And those two, I just called him up, and Tiffany started the program. Verinia didn't even have weight to lose, I thought. So they were totally different ends of the spectrum, but those were my two people, and they became my first two EDs. So write those people down in your heart. Number one, that popped into your head. The second, the Q in I plus Q equals A stands for qualify. So what are the characteristics or qualities that we want to look for in our ideal coaches? Like, what do we want to look for to find those ace cards and those unicorns in the group, right? So for me, some of those things were perseverance, grit. Now further in, a huge one is coachability. People that are money motivated, people that have a heart for other people and a passion for, serving and encouraging others. But just people that, there's so many qualities, but it's just who you want to work with. And we talk about these qualities all the time, but just also connectors. That's a great word for it. People that you just know that love to love on and connect and socialize with people. And then the A of I plus Q equals A is the approach. So how do you approach these people? And I'm going to tell y'all what I did when I first started my journey and how I did it, and now kind of how I look at it a little further in. So when I first started, I just picked up the phone. I started calling everybody I knew. Like, it was COVID. Everybody was at home. Everybody was available. So I was like, hey, what are you doing? I haven't talked to you in forever. And then they're going to ask you how you're doing. And then that is your chance to, passionately share your story. And I was like, actually, I'm doing amazing. I lost 54 pounds in 4 months. And I love this program. It changed my life so much. I decided to pay it forward and started helping other people. And within 3 months, I was able to leave my corporate job of 15 years. And I'm happier than I've been as long as I can remember. Well, when you put that out there, a lot of people had some questions for me, right? So either about the program or about coaching or both. So it opens the doors to those conversations. But the big thing I want to touch on too is just following what Optavia set up. Celebration tips calls. You guys, I know we say this all the time, and I heard it. I know I heard it on every call for the first 4 or 5 months that I was coaching, but I don't know why it didn't click until month 6. But now I really get it. So I want you to really get this part. The system is set up. I was talking to my husband this morning, and I looked at him and I said, it's almost too simple. People that follow the program, I said, I don't get why people don't get it. People that follow the program call their clients when they're supposed to, do the tips calls when they're supposed to. All of those people on my team are at ED right now. And the people that don't aren't. And it's just, it's that simple. So, but these celebration calls are huge because your coach is going to teach you how to look for those qualities and how to identify those qualities, and it helps you build your team. So I want y'all to just don't miss the key things. The celebration calls are an amazingly huge way to bring people on, and we weren't doing them at all at first. And if you don't do them, your team's surely not going to do them. But then we were doing just calls. We weren't doing Zooms, and we weren't getting the same results. Well, we started zooming it up a couple weeks ago, and lo and behold, we had a very low sponsoring month last month. Sorry if y'all hear the baby screaming. But this month we started doing all Zoom, and we have more coaches already on the 10th of the month this month. New coaches started than we had our entire last month, if that tells y'all anything. So just don't miss those calls. So here's the thing. Why don't we follow the program? What makes us give up and quit, or why? And the keyword there is chatter. So what we're going to talk about is my most favorite subject ever, which is our minds, right? So y'all have heard me say this before, but I believe it, and I tell myself this every day because I need to hear it. Until you master your mind, you will never master your business. Let me say that again. Until you master your mind, you will never master your business. This business, especially, that chatter, it's constant. There's so many things that go on in your head. So how do you master your mind? How do we start actively working on that? And how do you train your mind? The key word would be train. And I think about what that word train means. It's like, think about when you start the program and what we stand for on this program, and the habits of health. You didn't wake up one morning and just decide, oh, I'm going to eat every 2 to 3 hours and drink 100 ounces of water, and I got this, and I know what a lean ingredient is. No, you trained yourself. You did it, and you learned it, and you perfected it, and you were successful, right? And so it's no different, guys, on the business side when it comes to training our mind and our habits around our chatter. We all have habits around our chatter. We all have places that our mind automatically goes when we get fearful, every single one of us. So what the key is, first of all, is to identify that chatter and tell yourself the truth. I know when I was picking up the phone to call Verinia, even though we're close friends, because she didn't have any weight to lose, I thought, I don't know, this is crazy. I'm just going to go for it. She might not want to hear from me. There's like that hesitation, right? And then I had to ask myself, like, there's a tool we use in life coaching stuff that's called true, false, don't know. So you ask yourself, when a thought goes through your mind, is that true, false, or I don't know? Because not everything that goes through your mind is true. That's the first thing to know. So when I thought, okay, I'm going to call her. Well, I mean, is she not going to want to hear from me? Well, true, false. I don't know if it's true. I don't know. Usually she's happy to hear from me and open to what I want to say. So maybe. Does she definitely not want to hear from me? No. So I didn't think it was false. It was a don't know. I don't know if she's going to be open to this opportunity or not. And don't knows are really a false in disguise, because when we don't know, it's not true. We don't know, right? So the thing is with that, it's just to kind of identify the thoughts. And when I did call Verinia, she happened to say, I'm furloughed right now. I'd love a business opportunity. And I was like, if I let that fear hold me back from making that phone call, I wouldn't have one of the top revenue producers on my team now. And she's amazing, right? So, but what we do to avoid chatter, my biggest weapon to avoid chatter is to get ahead of it. And what I mean by that is to act. And that's huge, guys. If you just, because I'll go to pick up the phone and then your mind starts going. We all know it. Your heart starts racing and your mind starts going. But just push the button before you have a chance. Because once that person says hello, you're on, right? And that's usually the best thing. Sometimes just jumping in and going for it and living from right here, living from your heart, and just simply sharing your story. We all have a story. Everything y'all threw in that chat was so awesome and true about the gifts Octavia has given you. So all you're doing is sharing that. And that's what I want to talk about too. Last thing I want to touch on is to change your mindset. I talk to so many of my coaches and they're like, I got to get coaches. I got to sponsor. It's like hectic and frantic and fear-based. No, scratch that. You don't have to do anything. First of all, take a deep breath, take the pressure off yourself. But change it to, I cannot wait to share the gift of coaching with this person. I cannot wait to get to talk to this person every day and do life together. Change your mind around and your chatter around coaching in general, because this is a gift, guys. Everything y'all just all threw in that chat, why would we be afraid to share something so amazingly wonderful? So I think just shifting your mind and your mentality around your chatter is a huge starting point there. So you guys, thank you so much for the opportunity to share with y'all today. And I love y'all all very much.
Erica, that was fantastic. So many good tips. I was writing like crazy. And we have so many in the chat. So continue to post some takeaways from Erica. And we're going to move on, because I can tell you right now, we're going to go over a little bit today, but I promise you it'll be worth it, because who we're bringing up next, someone you may know, his name is Mr. Jamil Frazier, who's going to be talking about all the skills and soft skills on how we awaken potential and transform masterfully with a Coach Explorer. Jamil.
Good morning. Thank you for having me, Karen. And I got to tell you, I don't know how I can bring any more value to this call. You guys drop a 2, a 3, a 4, or 5 in the chat if this has just been off the chain. I mean, everything that I wanted to say, I mean, Emily crushed it, Annika crushed it, Erica and Michelle. I had to text Michelle and said, that might be the best I've ever heard you. I heard so many things that were new. And that's why it's so important to continue to get on these trainings, because you're going to hear a lot. But I want to ask for your permission. Karen's right. We are going to go over a bit, and we're probably not going to have you out of here until maybe about 8:10, 8:13. Is that okay with you? I want to ask for your permission to maybe just go over. I know you guys got a lot of things to do, but what I'm going to share about is what Erica just taught us. She taught us a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, her section was on how to identify, qualify, and approach, but we literally got a free training on how to do what I call become the surgical master of your mind. And so now that we are in the spirit of going out there and searching for business partners, once we get on the phone with them or once we sit down with them, what the heck do we say to them? So I have the pleasure of bringing to you what we call the Coach Explorer, and I hope to do a good job. So you can see I'm wearing one of my favorite shirts today. You guys can see this. It's called Find Your 12, and it's an extremely important principle. And yesterday I was on a call. I did a Coach Explore call with a coach. Let me say that again, because I don't want to lose you. I did a Coach Explore call with somebody who's already a coach on our team. Did you know that you can do a Coach Explore call with someone who's already a coach? Not someone who's not a coach. You could do that too. But almost every single time that I get on with a coach, I do a Coach Explore call with the coach. Why? Because there's two parts of our business. This is what I've been trying to tell you, is there's transformational and there's transactional. Now, the beauty of the two is when you blend them together. So quickly, let me just tell you a little bit about this and then we'll get into this call. So I was on with the coach and she's absolutely stunning. She's beautiful. She's doing a great job in her business. She's right around a senior coach. And so when I got on with her, I didn't want to talk about skill sets. I didn't want to talk about mindset. I really didn't even want to talk about actions, but I did want to help awaken her. Isn't that the habit that we're talking about right now? And so the way that I did it is I asked her, I said, that's all good. Everything you're saying is good, but can you tell me about your dreams? What are your dreams? And what happened from that one question became magical. The stuff that we found out, one, she wanted a ranch. She loves horses and animals. I said, why do you want a ranch? She started telling me stories about when she was 3, 4, 5 years old, going to a family member's house, being able to get on a horse, falling in love with them, wanting to move outside of the city. You should have saw her eyes light up. I've never seen her like this before. You could tell this was something that she had been thinking about for a long time. She started talking about what Karen said, what if? She started talking about what's possible. And I started asking her questions. Well, wow, if you could have that ranch, when would you like to have it by? What would be amazing? And we got into this beautiful conversation. This is called transformation. This is called connecting. This is called finding out and taking yourself out of your shoes, because it's not about you, and putting yourself in their shoes, because it is about them. She started telling me about how she's a photographer and an editor, and how she wanted camera equipment. She started telling me about the student loans that she has and how she wants to pay those off. She started telling me about the car note she has and how she wants to clear that off. And so we have this beautiful connection to where I just leaned in and it was story time. And I got lost in her story. Okay, so now that I had this, and I had these questions of, okay, well, if you want to get that ranch, how much do you think it's going to cost? And she says, well, I don't know. And I said, well, if you thought that you knew, how much would it cost? And she says, well, I don't know any ranches around here. And I said, well, there's many places you can buy it. You think it might cost $1 million? She goes, yeah, I think so. And I said, okay, well, when do you want that ranch by? And she says, I don't know, maybe like 6 years. Now, mind you, she's 26 years old right now. Okay. And I said, okay, well, that sounds good. So basically, we're only going to need about 200,000 to put down. Okay. So the camera equipment, when do you want to have that by? And she says, a year. And I go, great. When do you want to have those student loans paid off? And she goes, I don't know, maybe 2 years. And so I said, in 2022, if you could be clear of all your debt, that'd be helpful. She says, yes. I said, what about the car note? She says, I don't really know. And I said, if you think you did know, what would you say? She says, I don't know, 2 years. So I said, basically 2 years from now, your student loans are paid off, your car notes paid off, and now you can start accruing more income to buy that ranch. Do you know too many people who are 32 years old that have $1 million ranch with horses and chickens and stuff? She says, no. I said, well, sit back and relax. Now that you met me, I bet you we make that come true. And I said, because to have the ranch, we only need to have about an extra $2,700 and start putting that away. We got 6 years. And for the camera equipment, we only need $600 a month. And to pay off the student loans, we only need $1,600. And to pay off the car note, we only need $750 a month. That equals less than $6,000. Transactional. This is why I told you, when you come into this business, you have to have both. Why do you think coaches do not extend and do better in their businesses? Because they only have one. So now $6,000, you know how easy that is for a coach to earn $6,000 a month in this business. That is so simple. All we got to do is hit FIBC. So when I tell her there's steps in your business to where you got to go senior coach, that's first milestone, executive director, that's second milestone, and then FIBC, that's third milestone. You're already senior coach. We only got to go 2 more milestones. That's it. Because when you start earning 6,000, we're putting 2,700 away for your ranch. We're putting 500 away for your camera. We're putting 1,600 away for your loans. And we're putting 750 away for the car. I know for a fact that we could do that before next March. Transformation, transactional. So let's talk about the Coach Explorer with someone who's not already a coach. You have to remember the purpose behind this is all about connection. It's all about understanding their goals, falling in love with their story, understanding how Optavia is going to fulfill that need. And let me tell you, it always will if they listen and if they have desire. It's about connecting the dots. It's about leaving them feel understood and loved. And it's about outlining their next step. So really connecting to their why. Everything we're talking about right now is awakening their intrinsic motivation. And so you have to understand it's not about you. Write that down, please. Everybody write this down. It is not about you. When you get all nervous and frantic, you're like, I don't want to get on this call. Why do you think you're nervous? Are you nervous because it's only about them? Or it's because it's about you. How am I going to look? How am I going to feel? How am I going to stumble? What are they going to think about me? What are they going to say about me? What are their friends going to say? What? All about you, not about them. That is not transformational. That is not empathetic coaching. That is not the Optavia way. That is not what we do. So if you're doing that, you're getting all frantic, it is because you're still being selfish and you haven't learned how to make it about them. So you want to have a certain mindset, not ego, not arrogance. And look, none of us are perfect with this. I'm still on my journey 8 years later. But you want to have the mindset of everybody should be a coach. Write that down, because this might be the first time you've heard this. Your mindset is everybody should be a coach. If they knew what I knew, they would do what I do. This is a mindset of what I got is the best thing that's out there. I don't know too many things that give people what you get to give people. I don't know too many things that allow you to get on a training like this and be trained by world-class business owners and transformational coaches for free. I don't know too many things that allow you to change your complete life. I don't know too many things that not only allow you to do it, but get to give it away. I don't know anything like Optavia. I don't even know what to call it. I really don't. People say, what do you do? I'm not sure. We do everything. Like, I don't know, you have issues, we solve them. It doesn't matter what the issues are. So your mindset is, wow, you should be a coach, you should be a coach, you should be a coach, you should be a coach. You should walk by people all day long and just saying, wow, coaching would be great for you and you and you and you and you too and you too and yeah, you too. So your mindset has got to be like that. Some tips before you actually even get on this call is if you've already approach them like Erica just taught us, and you already set up the call, then go on and send them and layer them with a trilogy video. Your support team will help you with this. I want to encourage you to just calm down, chill out. Use your support team as needed. If you're new to this call, I encourage you, don't try to do it on your own. Allow your support team to get in there and partner with you and to lead the call. And if they're not sort of in a position to where they're wanting to do it, then go up the chain. You need to have better skills, and the only way you're going to get them is to have them transferred by somebody who's an expert in this, okay? So you got to remember, again, we're not here to get. One of the reasons why many of you are not doing this call is, one, you're not connected to what you really want, like the coach I was talking to yesterday. You're not connected to how it makes sense transactionally. And you're still thinking about getting instead of giving. This whole call is about giving them something that they don't have. Be a human being, have a conversation. If you can do a health assessment, I assure you, you can do a Coach Explorer call. Stop the chatter. It's amazing that Erica said that, and I had it in my notes too. But if you don't know how to control this, everything outside of this is going to be less than what's capable and possible for you. Clear your mind, take a deep breath. Here are some of the skills that you'll need. You'll need soft skills. I'll talk about some of them. You'll need to know how to build rapport. You'll need to learn how to care and share instead of tell and sell. I thought that was a beautiful question that Emily asked. How many of you guys still feel like you're selling a product? Wow, that was so eye-opening to me because I just don't see it that way. You'll need to learn how to shoot the breeze, awaken, and ask questions to understand. And you'll need to give a powerful invitation. So what are you listening for? Are they dissatisfied with an area of their life? Are they dissatisfied with an area of their life? Let me tell you, they are. You just got to find, if they are on this call, if they say, yes, I'd be open to exploring it, you already know that there's an area of their life that is missing something. Please write that down. If they are on this call, there's an area of their life that is missing something. You just got to find out what that something is. Does this make sense? I hope I'm not losing you. Why would they be on this call if there wasn't a window that was open in their life? They wouldn't. So if they're willing to sit down with you, there's something that's missing. You just got to find it. Are they looking for something new? I remember the first time I sat down with a chiropractor in Seal Beach. And I was like, oh my gosh, chiropractor, she has her own practice. She looks successful. Let me say that again. She looks successful. She was broke, but she looked successful. And I remember talking to her saying, tell me about your life. What's important to you? What do you need? What are you lacking? What are you looking to have more of? Are you as fulfilled as you want to be? She told me, Jamil, believe it or not, if I could just earn $2,500 with coaching, that would save my life. And I was like, $2,500? It looked like you're balling. She says, I haven't paid myself in 4 years. You haven't paid yourself? Do you know how fast we can help a coach get to $2,500? We do that in 11 days. You haven't paid yourself in 4 years? Why not? I didn't understand overhead. I didn't understand employees. I didn't understand insurance. I didn't understand regulations. I didn't understand how she had to pay all these people and she didn't even have enough for herself. They are always looking for something if they're on this call. You just got to figure out what it is. Okay, so some questions to ask. You obviously want to build rapport, be a human being. How do you know your coach, right? If you're the mentor coach, how was your day? Do you live local? I see there's a child in the background. Who is it? What's their name? Like, be a human being. Find out more about their journey. I'm excited to connect with you and hear about your life, hear about your story. Tell me what's going on right now in your world. The goal is connection, listen to connect. Also learn and hear what they're not saying. You know, the coach that I was on with yesterday, she was saying stuff without saying it. For example, oh, I got so much, I'm gonna have to get up off of here real fast. Well, what she was saying was, I asked her about her job and she's in the photography world. Loves it, absolutely loves it. Went to school for it and all that stuff, right? And so after exploring with her more, I said, so even with COVID, you were able to keep your job? She says, yes. I go, what a blessing. I said, so they kept you on salary the whole time? And she goes, no, that's actually the issue. I said, wow, tell me more about that. She says, they pay me per job. And since COVID has happened, we've had less jobs. Thus, I've gotten paid less. She was saying stuff without saying stuff. Does this make sense? Oh, I hope this is making sense. She was saying a whole bunch of stuff that literally didn't matter. And I had to ask that question in order to get to the nitty gritty. Oh, I hope you guys are catching this. Okay, there's so much more. I'll post all my notes in there. Let me just say this. Your job is to awaken, to find out what's going on, to ask questions like, how would coaching benefit you and your family? If you were the coach, how much time would you have to put into it? Are you looking to improve yourself financially? Are you going to coach just to serve people, or both? If it's financially, how much money do you want to make? Why do I need to know that? Transactional, transactional, transactional. Because as they say, I want to earn $10,000 a month. I told you numbers always tell stories. Why? Why do you want to earn $10,000 a month? How soon? How is this going to benefit you? And plus, as a coach, if they want to earn $10,000 a month, I know exactly where I got to help to get them. And then I can say, wow, well, if that's what you want to do, that's rather easy. Are you coachable? Can you follow directions? Are you open? Do you have passion and love for people? And will you actually do the work? Yes, you be an amazing coach and we can show you how to do it quickly. And that $10,000 represents something. Usually it's some sort of freedom. Karen, I could go on and on and on. I know we're out of time, but I'll post my notes. But this call is magical if you learn how to connect authentically and awaken.
Jamel, stay on for 1 second, because I just wanted to say, isn't it just the most amazing thing when you see and hear, oh, this makes me cry, when you see and hear them awaken? You can see it, right? You can feel it by asking them these questions. It is just, it's incredible. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're going to share your notes, because I'm seeing everyone saying they're writing so quickly and they cannot, and they can't keep up. So today was golden. So many things that can change your life, change your business. Please send so much love and thank yous to our amazing presenters today, to Mary Basinger, Emily Flores, Annika Relaford, Michelle Bamba, Erica O, and Jamil. We appreciate you all so much for pouring into us, for taking your time to awaken our potential, to really help us be transformational leaders. I'm going to post the action steps in the group. I'm not going to take any more time, but I would say the first action step would be to rewatch this training this morning. We will see you all tomorrow morning, Saturday morning, 7 a.m. Pacific time, for our last time together for a bit. Love you guys so much. Thank you for all you do, and let's go change the world.